Hey, welcome to Film Fan. Today we're going to be discussing Ludwig Göransson's score soundtrack for the Christopher Nolan film Tenet that's currently playing in theaters. I haven't seen the movie. I'm getting very agitated that I haven't seen the movie, but the score was released digitally today on digital platforms, so Tidal, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, whatever it's called at this point. We're going to get into that, and we're also going to talk about one of my favorite composers, and I mean, this guy's got to be, it's Hans Zimmer. We're going to get into that on this episode of Film Fan. Hey, welcome to Film Fan, my channel where I discuss all things film, movie related, and my passion for movies and such. So if that is also your thing, feel free to hit the subscribe button below, little notifications bell, so you know when I put out new content. So this is one of the casual corner Film Fan episodes where it's more podcasty, if that's a word, kind of me here talking to you guys about this and that. Anyway, so I want to get into Tenet. So Ludwig Göransson, who is an Oscar-winning, Grammy-winning, I think he's now Emmy-nominated composer. This guy's like, what is he, 35, 36 years old? He's worked with Childish Gambino. He got 2 Grammys for This Is America, the song with Childish Gambino. He's produced with him, and I think they went back a while. They worked together on a show called Community, so they've had that relationship for some time. But this guy has done, he did Venom, he did Creed 1 and 2, so he's worked with Ryan Coogler. He got an Oscar for Black Panther. I saved the best for last. He got an Oscar for that score, and now he's doing Christopher Nolan's Tenet. So Hans Zimmer typically does most of Nolan's scores, and I think 2006 was the last time they actually did not work together. So since 2006, a movie called The Prestige, that was the last Nolan film that Hans Zimmer didn't actually score. So why did Hans Zimmer not score Tenet? Zimmer is off doing Dune 2020, which I am eagerly awaiting, and which I'm sure many people are. And that's going to be something else. So Denis Villeneuve is doing Dune 2020, and that's going to be Hans Zimmer. So apparently Zimmer's dedication to that particular film revolved around his love of the actual novels from way back when he was young. So he never even saw the original Dune that was made, starring Kyle MacLachlan, the Dino De Laurentiis version of Dune. He never even saw that, but he was drawn to Dune. It's kind of like he's been playing the music for that in his head since he was a teenager. So it made sense that he went off and did Dune instead of Tenet. But with Ludwig at the helm here on Tenet, we don't lose any. I mean, he's a fantastic composer. This guy, if he keeps going on this streak, it's going to be nuts. I gave it a listen this morning. I started listening to it like 6 a.m. I started listening to it, and then I kind of got disturbed and had to do some other things and working with the wife on the news and such. And then I went back to it and kind of started listening to it. So I've got to give it a few more listens, but so far, it's just got that energy to it. Now, let me say this. What's really pissing me off is the fact that right now the score is kind of like a really good ingredient for something that's by itself, but you kind of need the whole recipe together to really enjoy it. And that's how I feel about Tenet right now with this particular score, because I haven't seen the movie because the movie theaters are closed in New York and New Jersey. We can't get to the theater. I'm actually considering taking a trip to either Philadelphia or Connecticut this weekend just to see Tenet. So I'll get back to you and see how that, and let you know how that worked out. Normally, the score and the film together, and I get a feeling from it, and it just feels different when I'm listening to it. I'm listening to this having not seen the movie, so it's kind of like I know what the movie's about. I've read some of the reviews on the movie. I'm trying to piece it together and trying to get a feel for the score, but it's just like I said, man, it's like having really good parts of a salad, but you don't have the whole thing together. Did that make any sense whatsoever? I'm hoping to get to see the movie soon and put this whole piece together, but so far so good. There are tracks that definitely stand out on here. Regarding the obvious question that hit me when I realized that he was doing, and that Hans wasn't doing this actual score, was whether or not that use of the shepherd tone was going to be noticeable in Ludwig's interpretation, in his score. For those of you who don't know, the shepherd tone is used often in music, and Hans Zimmer uses it often, like Dunkirk, he used it, Interstellar, Sherlock Holmes, to name a couple of the films, where it sounds like this constant tone of ascension, like it's constantly going up, but it never stops. It kind of never ceases. It just going and going and going and going and going, and it adds to the overall tension of the scene. So you've got like these three different notes that are playing at different points. One is breaking, one is not breaking, and then the bottom note is continually going. It's a weird thing. I can't explain it. I'm not a technical dude. I just understand it on a surface level. I get it. It has an emotional resonance that just kind of like really hits you because you feel like it's constantly like, it's just tense. So that said, with Tenet, my first thought was, well, apparently this film deals with like time and going back and reversal of time and things happening along those lines. So I figured it just made sense that that would be incorporated in this, but it's not really. There's a track on here called Inversion, which is actually really cool and has that it has like a reversal effect to it. And I believe what Göransson did was he played a track. There's a part of the score playing backwards while the other part of the score is laid on top of it playing frontwards. Again, if that made any sense. Yeah, he did some unique shit to give you some effect and some audio illusion there, the same way the Shepard tone works. So we'll see. Again, I got to see the movie and listen to the score before I get a full like analysis on it, before I can really feel it. But that said, so far so damn good. It's an insane film to try to score. Just think from what I've heard and from the reviews, just thinking about how that would be scored is just kind of crazy. But this guy apparently is up to the task. I mean, again, this guy works for Childish Gambino. He's got Oscars, he's got Grammys. This guy is just he's got a hell of a career. So getting into it now, second part of this, we're getting into Hans Zimmer live in Prague. When this came out, this was my go-to disc that I watched for entertainment for like 2 weeks straight. I mean, this was it for me. When this came out, I had no idea. It was on like Netflix or something. And I was like, Hans Zimmer live in Prague. And I watched it on Netflix and I was floored. Immediately ordered the Blu-ray. Wanted to see if they had it in 4K, but I ordered the Blu-ray and I couldn't stop watching it. This is a full concert that goes through, where's the track list? I mean, he does Crimson Tide, he does Man of Steel, Gladiator, he's like 3 or 4 songs from Gladiator. He does Pirates of the Caribbean, Inception. He does Driving Miss Daisy, Rain Man, True Romance, The Lion King, Da Vinci Code, which he got an Oscar for The Lion King for this score. The Dark Knight, he does like 5 songs from the whole trilogy and just puts them all together. And it's just insane. Let me tell you, this is not a concert of a bunch of old stuffy people together in a hall. This is like a rock concert. Johnny Marr from the Smiths plays guitars on this. He plays guitar during the Dark Knight trilogy section and Inception. It is bananas to watch. I got my wife into this. My kids are into this. We watched this. So my kids kind of like some of the film scores I listen to. They'll listen to like the Dark Knight. They'll listen to stuff when I'm driving. That's another part of this video we'll talk about in a second, the fact that I drive to film scores, but we'll get that in a minute. But yeah, my kids are like, when I put this on, my wife sat and watched it and she was floored, and my kids sat actually and they were floored. They actually had the attention to watch it because it's not, again, it's not like watching old stuffy people. It's like you got to watch Tina Go, who's a cellist. Is that how you say it? Cellist? Someone who plays a cello. A cellist. She's a cellist and she plays the electric cello, and this woman playing the cello, you, if anything, watch it just to see that, because she goes in. I mean, she's literally like orgasmic in certain scenes. And I'm not being funny, I'm not being rude. Like she is the passion with this woman playing the cello in some of these numbers is just insane. The drummer, Satnam Ramgada, plays the drums. Johnny Marr again on guitar. You got Yolanda Charles' amazing sister who plays bass, so Zarina Russell does the vocals and percussions on the Gladiator thing. So Lisa Gerrard did the original vocals on the Gladiator soundtrack. So all that beautiful music, those vocals in Gladiator, that's Lisa Gerrard. So Lisa Gerrard didn't do it for the actual concert. You've got this woman, Zarina Russell, and she handles that material which is difficult to do. It's hard to have somebody on Lisa Gerrard's level do something and then someone in concert's got to try to perform the same thing and try to imitate it. It's kind of like, all right, I'm going to notice a difference. This woman nails it. I mean, it's really, really good. And she also does percussion and plays some other instruments during the concert, but it's just insane. Hans is having a great time. The entire crew, every musician up there is having a good time. You can feel the passion. It is palpable. Like, you can feel the music. When Man of Steel is being played, when Inception comes on, And the crescendo, like Inception, will just blow your mind. And again, I drive to this music. Like, that's how insane this is. I have this on Blu-ray, and I actually have the audio CDs because I have them in the car. So it's just like, it's nuts. If you're a Hans Zimmer fan, if you're a film score fan, even if you're not a film score fan, if you watch this, it's like watching a rock concert. I have said to people that everyone knows Rihanna's my girl, right? I have told people, Sade, Rihanna, I've told people that if Rihanna and Sade were in concert together and I had free tickets to see them, or Hans Zimmer was coming with this whole crew to do all these motion picture scores, and I had to pay $1,000 to see that or go see Sade and Rihanna for free, I'd spend $1,000 just to go see this. That's how you know how insane this is. That's how good it is. So if I'm not conveying that to you, hopefully that example just conveyed it for you. Yeah, it's insane. I need a drink of water. So that's it for me on this episode of Film Fan. I just wanted to talk about Tenet really quick. If you've listened to the score, let me know what you think about it below in the comments. If you haven't listened to it, I'll leave the link in the comment to the Tidal and the Apple Music and the Spotify links to where you can listen to it. If you haven't seen this, definitely pick this up. I'll leave a link in the description where you can buy the Blu-ray or where it's currently streaming. If you saw this and you actually like it, go ahead and leave comments below and let me know how you feel about it. Let me know your favorite Hans Zimmer score, favorite movie that, he's scored, and we'll talk about it. We'll go from there. In the meantime, if you haven't seen a movie in a long time, go watch a movie. I mean, think about it. If you haven't been to the theater, I mean, it sucks. But you can find movies to stream. You can find movies that you have in your collection. And remember, if you have a movie that's 5 years old, there's a movie out there that's 5 years old, 10 years old, 25 years old, 50 years old. If you haven't seen it, it's a brand new movie. Just remember that. So watch a movie, lose yourself in the movies, find yourself in the movies, love the movies, and love film scores and film soundtracks. All of it. All right. See you in the next Film Fan. Peace.